Imagine you're standing outside completely exposed. No shelter, no phone, no way to understand what is happening above you. The sky turns green. The air pressure drops so fast your ears pop. Then, without warning, a sound hits you so hard it rattles your chest. A flash of light brighter than anything you have ever seen. And then darkness again. Now imagine that you have no concept of electricity, no physics textbooks, no meteorology. You have no word for lightning. You don't even have a word for the atmosphere. You are a human being 40,000 years ago, and the sky is trying to kill you. What do? Most people assume the answer is simple. You hide, you wait it out, you survive. But the real answer is stranger and more profound than that. Because what ancient humans did during thunderstorms didn't just shape how they survived, it shaped how they thought about the universe. It shaped every religion that ever existed. It shaped the way your own brain is wired right now. Let's go back to the beginning. To understand what ancient humans felt during a thunderstorm, you have to first understand what the night sky meant to them. And to do that, you have to let go of everything you already know. You know what lightning is. You know it's an electrical discharge between clouds and the ground. You know it travels at roughly 220,000 miles per hour. You know it's hot, around 30,000 Kelvin, 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. You know all of this, and so it doesn't scare you the way it should. But your ancestors knew none of it. What they experienced was a force that appeared without warning, could not be outrun, could not be bargained with, and could kill you, your family, your shelter, and everything you had in a single second. Lightning didn't just strike people. It struck trees, and the trees caught fire, and the fire spread, and entire landscapes burned. Archaeologist and cognitive scientist David Lewis Williams studied early human consciousness extensively. His conclusion, the thunderstorm wasn't just terrifying to ancient humans. It was existentially incomprehensible. There was no framework for it, no category to put it in, no word that meant weather system. What they had instead was the only framework available to minds that had never been given any other option. Something is doing this, something powerful, something angry. And that single cognitive leap, the assumption of intention behind natural forces, is called agent detection. And it didn't just explain thunderstorms, it built the entire scaffolding of human religion. So what did they physically do? The answer starts with the same thing fire always starts with. Because in the ancient world, lightning and fire were the same story. The oldest archaeological evidence of humans sheltering in storms comes from cave sites across Europe, Africa, and Asia. At Blombos Cave in South Africa, dating back 75,000 years, researchers found evidence of repeated, habitual human occupation, layers of ash, ochre, and tools. These caves weren't just campsites, they were refuges. And thunderstorms were one of the main reasons you needed one. When a storm hit, everyone pulled inward. Children were gathered, fires were managed because a fire in the entrance of a cave wasn't just warmth, it was a barrier. Predators don't enter fire. But here's what's fascinating, that the people weren't just hiding, they were watching. Hunter-gatherer groups that still live close to traditional ways, the Hadza of Tanzania, the San Bushmen of the Kalahari, the Aboriginal Australians, all of them have documented behaviors around thunderstorms that anthropologists have recorded. And the pattern is consistent. A storm is not experienced passively. A storm is a social event. The group gathers, the fire is tended, and people talk. Recall what anthropologist Polly Wiessner found when she studied the Zhuangzi Bushmen. Around the fire, 81% of conversations shifted from practical logistics to stories, myths, cosmology, explanations. A thunderstorm didn't pause that dynamic, it supercharged it. When the sky starts doing something nobody understands and everyone is crowded together in the dark with nowhere to go, the stories become urgent. The explanations become necessary. The question stops being abstract. It becomes personal. What is that? Why is it happening? What did we do? What do we do next? Those are not idle questions. Those are the first theological questions ever asked. Across every ancient culture on Earth, independently with no contact between them, the same deity was invented. The sky god, Zeus in ancient Greece, Thor in Norse mythology, Indra in the Vedic tradition of ancient India, Tlaloc among the Aztec, Tyrannus among the Celts, Perun among the Slavs, Raijin in Japan, Jupiter among the Romans. Every major civilization independently concluded the same thing. Whatever is making that sound, whatever is throwing those bolts of light, it is conscious, it is powerful, and it has opinions about us. This is not a coincidence. Cognitive anthropologist Pascal Boyer studied the origins of religious concepts across cultures and found what he called the minimally counterintuitive principle. Human minds are most likely to remember and transmit beliefs that are almost like reality, but with one impossible feature attached: a being that looks human but cannot die, a spirit that knows your thoughts, a god that controls the sky. A thunderstorm is the perfect raw material for a god. It appears without warning. It cannot be controlled. It affects everyone equally. It can destroy or spare with no apparent pattern. And it makes a sound. That last part matters more than you'd think. Sound triggers agent detection faster than visual cues. We are wired at a neurological level to hear unexpected loud sounds and immediately search for the entity that made them. It's a survival reflex. In the ancestral environment, if something made a loud, sudden noise, it was almost certainly something that could kill you. Your brain is still doing this, right now. Every time thunder cracks unexpectedly and you flinch, your amygdala is running a 300,000-year-old script. Locate the threat. Find the thing that made that sound. Ancient humans ran that same script, and the conclusion they reached, that a vast and powerful being was expressing itself through the storm, wasn't superstition born of stupidity. It was the most logical conclusion available to a mind with no other data. But here's the part that should make you stop for a moment. Lightning kills about 2,000 people per year globally. Even today, with all of our shelter, all of our weather forecasting, all of our understanding of how to stay safe. Now imagine a world without any of that. Archaeologists studying ancient burial sites have found skeletal remains with trauma patterns consistent with burns. Cave systems show scorching on walls from ancient lightning strikes. There is evidence in the fossil record of mass kill events tied to lightning-ignited wildfires. For ancient humans, a thunderstorm wasn't just psychologically terrifying, it was a genuine mass casualty event waiting to happen. And the people who survived weren't necessarily the strongest or the fastest. They were the ones who stayed together, got inside, managed the fire, and listened to the elder who had seen this before and knew what to do. Social cohesion was the survival mechanism. The people who panicked and ran died. The people who gathered and followed a shared protocol lived. And the protocol that emerged over thousands of years, stay together, tend the fire, call on the powerful force above and ask it for mercy, was the first form of organized religion. The thunderstorm didn't just inspire mythology, it selected for it. The groups that had a coherent story about the storm, a ritual, a leader, a shared behavior, were more likely to survive. Their children carried that cognitive tendency forward. We didn't invent religion because we were philosophical. We invented it because it kept us alive. Tonight, there's a reasonable chance a thunderstorm will roll through somewhere near you. Maybe not tonight, but soon. And when it does, you'll probably glance at the window. Maybe check a weather app. Maybe feel a small involuntary spike of something, not quite fear but adjacent to it. A tightening, a alertness, an instinct to look up. That's 300,000 years of programming firing at once. Your ancestors heard that same sound and had no idea what it was, so they did the only thing available to them. They moved closer to each other. They built stories to contain the incomprehensible. They invented gods powerful enough to throw the sky itself as a weapon. And in doing so, they built the psychological infrastructure that every human civilization since has been constructed on top of. The storm didn't break them. It made them. And every time you feel that flinch at the sound of thunder, what you're feeling isn't just a reflex. It's a memory, one that belongs to the whole species. You just inherited it.